Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Hey, Melissa Scott. Thank you for letting me know that you could hear me. Hey, Emmanuel. Child. I named this video, Ooh, child. Y'all showed y'all black asses last night. Shaking my head. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, okay. Country. We share the same birthday. That's the best day of the year, child. Okay? Us Tarsus, the bulls running around here running amok. I have not been running amok, though. But let me tell you what happened last night. Eyes on the prize. Okay, you know I'm beef sector, but I love the Mo three sector. I like the characters, I like the different storylines, and all of that. So I be over there a whole lot. Well, yeah, last night I was over there, and I'm in the chat, doing what I do, speak, and looked on the screen, and Uppity got her big fat ass up there, and of course she was drunk and putting on a monkey show, like she always do. Well, she done ran out over here in the beef sector. These people in the beef sector got tired of fooling with her. So now she's roaming around in other sectors, which, she been doing that for the last few months. Uh, popping up in different places because she one place that she really liked was the captain, but see, he don't come on very often, you know. He might come on once a month or once every 2 months. Well, see, she can't go there. Bimp don't go live very often. Can't go there. Well, of course, Mahia and Broadway, they go live. Well, child, she seen that Broadway was live and she hit the panel. And she was drunk and she was talking crazy, you know, talking to him like she actually know what's going on in the Mo 3 sector and she have no clue. Okay? She was getting him and Duck mixed up. Duck had sex before in like an abandoned apartment where she said it was Broadway. And she kept doing like points to get under his nerve. And he just she was throwing herself at him, talking about she chose him and like she the finest person in the that ever was. And he had her dancing like Humpty Dumpty up there. She called herself twerking. And bitch, I know that apartment smelled like funky ass. I don't know why you do that. But she was up there twerking. Well, not twerking. She was up there flopping around like a walrus do, in the ocean and on the land. That's what she looked like, a big fat ass walrus. And the crowd, they was laughing at her doing their thing and stuff. And you know, she had just got on his like last nerve. Well, Brooke hit the I noticed that the beef sex started crowded falling into the chat. Well, whenever she say something about Brooke gonna hit the panel. But before she did, Broadway had put you know, you know how we type in the chat and then the content creator put it on the screen. Well, he put Brooke up there and he kept saying, "Who is that? Uppity? Who is that?" And she never would say Brooke name. They talked about everything except that, and he would go back to, "Who is that? Who is that?" And she would never say nothing. And then Brooke hit the damn pound, and she drug Uppity from sea to shine and sea, and I love every minute of it. And Brooke keep on following that walrus around and keep dragging her and exposing her to all these people as the maggot that she is. There's an unfit maggot that she is. She was trying to talk about Can y'all hear me now? It said my browser lost like connection or whatever to my mic. And somebody put Melissa put in your sound. Luckily I was looking at it. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? No, what happened? Okay, now we can. Thank you, Melissa. Look, child, now you know what? It was good that I was looking at my screen because a lot of times when I'm talking, I don't be looking at the screen, child. I be laying on my back and uh all kind of stuff. I don't be paying. Luckily, luckily I was paying attention and y'all. Hopefully it wasn't too long. But getting back to that unfit ass bitch, uppity. Brooke got up there and she drew the shit out of uppity. And then people was putting all kind of stuff in the chat, including me. And I was putting in the chat, whatever Brooklyn did, she didn't lose her children to the state. You lost two, bitch. You only got three, and you lost two of them years and years ago. A boy and a girl. You can't say shit about nobody on here when you lost your children for being an unfit beast. You were sending your kids to school funky. You were sending your kids to school dirty. You were sending your kids unkept. You know, all you would did to open the door up and send them out. You didn't care what they looked like or smelled like. And like I said, if your kids stink, your big funky ass stink. Cause you're bad if you well, a normal person, they'll bath their child before they bath they self. People, some people just say, fuck it. Hell yeah, we all gonna jump in the tub together and they wash their kids up and you know what I'm saying, and then wash themselves up. Or get in the tub one after another and use the same water. But bitch, you didn't even do that. And you running, wobbling your big ass out in the other sectors, talking about folks. Because you said something about me too at the beginning when you got up there talking about something about Miss Paulette, she don't like me. I sure don't, and I put it in the chat. No, I don't like you. I don't like unfit mothers. But you ignored that. But I wasn't finna argue with you because it was my goddamn birthday, and I wasn't getting no headache from talking to somebody that's retarded and drunk. That's too negative. Retarded and drunk and funky. Lord Jesus. Well, let me get back to what happened because it gets worse, okay? Well, Rico popped up. Rico the barber. Rico. Because Uppity, you're not beef sector. And Brooke, she don't claim beef sector. She not, but she more beef sector than you will ever be. But honey, Rico hit the panel. And the reason that he hit the panel, because Mahia got up there, because Rico had been up there once, but he jumped down. And then Mahia hit the link, and he got up there, and because Broadway always saying he ain't gonna have no punks over there, and he been getting on the Mahia because Mahia he let anybody come over there. So Tulsa, Tulsa get to go over there and hit his panel and be on the conversation and all this. And Broadway, I always say something to Mahia about it of him having one of them on his panel. Well, then when Rico jumped down, Mahia jumped up there and he said, Broadway, now you always say you wasn't gonna have that one of them on your panel talking and stuff, and you just had one of them. And then Broadway was saying that he didn't have no dress on and this and that because Tulsa, dress like a lady and want to be addressed as a lady, but Rico don't. Well, when Mahia was saying to Broadway about him having one of them up there, then Rico hit the panel, and he was pissed off, and he was saying, Rick, as telling Mahia, what do you mean by one of them and this and that, and just cause I don't wear no dress, and Rico was going OFF. Well, he said a little bit, and then he jumped down, and he wound up back up there because and Broadway continued their conversation. Well, Rico jumped back up there, and him and Mahia got into it, and they was going arm and hammer. I mean, they was hitting each other all in the head, and it went on and on. And sometimes you wind up doing something different, but you can still hear. Now, I'm one of them kind of people. I'm moving around and all that kind of stuff. And my grandbaby had came in to give me my birthday gift. Well, Broadway wound up putting Rico up on the big screen. And the people in the chat say, be careful, he P-bomb and this and that. It was going wild. Which Broadway put Rico up on that goddamn big screen, and he had all them people in the chat. I bet it was 1,000 people in there, because everybody was over there. And Rico had that big screen, and Rico pulled his DICK out. He pulled his DICK out. Now you know, now the beach sector, we know he'll do that. Rico, you had the biggest crowd you ever had in your life, and you pulled your thing out. Broadway, he wasn't at his computer when this happened. And when he came back to it, that's what he seen. And he had to pull it down, child. Broadway come back on. He was so goddamn mad. He couldn't hardly talk. Do you hear me? Broadway, he was so goddamn mad. He couldn't hardly talk. And he kept saying he hoped Rico die. And he was saying all kind of stuff. And Coolin got up there and told Broadway, he apologized. So I guess I don't know how she knew Rico apologized. I didn't have time to be looking on YouTube to see what happened. Did he make a live and apologize to Broadway or what he did, child? Eyes on the prize. Look, it is what it is. When you make him mad, he'll pull his thing out. That's just what he do. And see, I'm gonna just tell you this here, because I've been around here a long time. I love being over there in the Mo3 sector, but a lot of times when things start going on in the Mo3, they blame the beef sector. And I have to do the same thing over and over. Like it usually be over there in my house. Like we didn't have none of this doxing and it's out of control and them people bought this over here and no, yeah, I was doing all that stuff before the places merged. Yeah, I was already doxing. Yeah, I was already pee bombing. Y'all get y'all get pee bombed all the time. Y'all let Woo do it. Don't nothing be done to her. Um, Gina get to do it. Don't nobody get mad at her. That's his defense mechanism. That is correct. When he get triggered, that's what he know. That's what he do. That's what he. We know the beef sector know. And like with Rico, like when sometimes people be on this panel, like I've noticed it lately. They'll say, "Put the banner up," and then he get mad. And he was saying, "Why y'all telling me to put the banner? I ain't gonna do that, and I ain't gonna people. You damn if you do, damn if you don't." But Rico been doing that for uh, years and years and years. We know that. You know, he's not the only one that go to other sectors and P-Bone. Duke have P-Boned a couple of times over here in the B sector. We didn't make a big deal out of it. Yeah, now they know. But we know. But people was putting it in the chat, about the P bombing and stuff. But it is what it is. Now he's like Rico has been our P bomber forever. Sometimes you can he won't do it. Sometimes he won't do it for a long time. But then he'll do it. It is what it is. But And see, on this argument about the P bombing and the beef sector bringing bad stuff to the Mo3 sector, we wasn't doing all that doxing and this. Well, the beef sector hadn't been doxing the Mo3 sector. Because the beef sector, if they wanted to dox, they could dox the shit. We was doxing before the Mo3 sector ever was thought about. But we didn't bring that to the Mo3 sector. We didn't bring P bombing to the Mo3 sector. The Mo3 sector have been P bombing the beef sector for years. 88 palmed the beef sector. That P woman, and I'm adding her with the Mo3 sector because y'all adding these other people that's not beef sector to us. Fifi P bombed the beef sector. Duke Farrow has bombed the beef sector. Gina, that's 4. So that one that Rico did last night, that ain't shit. If you want to just look at it fairly, we got 3 more. But the beef sector didn't come over there P bombing y'all when the Mo3 sector people P bombed us. We didn't run over there and do that. Which it could happen. But the beef sector ain't trying to do that. They got enough to deal with over here. Like they doxing over here. Beef sector got enough people to dox in the beef sector. And they keep that shit over there. Well, the resident P bomber, he been over here dormant for a while. And why that shit went on last night, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you one damn thing about it. I thoroughly enjoyed myself in the Mo3 sector last night while the beef sector was over there acting a goddamn fool, showing their natural black asses. Okay. And it is what it is. But like I said, it ain't no war or nothing like that, which I've said it for years. The beef sector is cool where it's at. They have not ran amok over there with none of the tricks that they pull over here. They're keeping the beef sector tricks and trade and trying to destroy each other. They're keeping the shit over here. And see, a view went over there last night, and she is a OG. A view was here before the beef sector was created, just like me. And the viewers was here way before me. So, like I say, the Mo3 beef sector is still an infant compared to us. And the black sector was here before the beef sector was here. Because they had a sector. And it wasn't a beef sector, but the black sector. But I'm just saying, we're infants compared to the black sector. It's levels to this shit. But a view had her nose ass over there last night. A view, when you seen Rico up there, what did you think was going to happen? Especially when he was mad, because him and Mahia got into it. But I did not see it, but it was the talk of time. And the idea of it being on 357s last night, that was just like, it was wild over there. He pulled the live down. He said he's going to throw it away, but he will clip that part out of it because it was a good live. But 357 ain't messed up about it. He have thrown wonderful lives away. But I wish that he would just clip that part. Is that the same thing, Rico, that used to be going at it with, I don't know who SDW is, South Dallas? I don't know who that is. No, you talking about? I think you talking about Rico the Brat. You know, cause Rico, honey, he was in the Discord and stuff. He was saying that ain't me. You know, Rico the Rico, the Brat, honey, he was in that Discord saying that ain't. Tell everybody that ain't me. You know, he was like that because he don't want to. Rico the Brat has never did that. You know, he don't do that. But Rico the barber, he'll come out of retirement and child. He come out of retirement over there in Set last night, and it was wild. And see, they, you know, just think about it. A gay guy pull his DICK out. Whoa. And then on Broadway panel, I was like, fuck. But I got my entire life last night. And Uppity, you need to change them filthy, stinky camouflage pants. You've been wearing them ever since you bought them. You've been, and they, when you was over there at my hair showing your body off and all that kind of stuff, they took a picture of her feet, you know, like above her ankle, and her ankles look like they're gonna bust. And when somebody put that up, I think Brooke put that up on the screen last night over there at 357, and she said them wasn't her feet. Bitch, you was your feet. Cause you had the same motherfucking pants on last night, ho. You been had the same goddamn pair of pants on for months and months and months. Nasty. And then they, after y'all all left, they showed the video of your filthy house, how you really live. They showed that over and over and over. And then everybody was talking about how filthy and nasty you is up. I don't know what kind of dream you in, but you need to wake up. But I think some of the men over there in that motel, next time you come over there, I think them niggas need to hit the pound and just tell you how, about yourself. They need to put you in your place because you don't listen to the women. You wants to flounce around these men and throw yourself at them. And when they turn you down, then you want to be mad at them like you're mad at Cam talk too much because he told your ass, he told you about yourself and throwed you off his panel. Bitch. Child. Wait a minute. She just moved her new place and it's getting dirty. Her couch was like she was showing it last night. It was stuff in the floor, but not as bad. Her floor is not, you know, dirty. But you could tell that she is going downhill on her housekeeping. One thing I could say is she finally got a goddamn couch and she finally got a goddamn chair. Cause you know she sit up in that raggedy cage that she just moved out of for years with no furniture. And her mattress is on the floor. But that place is on its way to being a disaster because she showed her couch. It was her couch pillows was, you know, the little girl I guess had messed them up. It was stuff. It was clothes and stuff all in the couch. You know, down in the couch was fucked up, and it was stuff, clothes and shit on the all through that mixture. And it was some things in the floor. The place that she got must be very small because she like every little like cubby hole, you know how you have space between your refrigerator and the wall, you know, different those kind of spaces. It was stuff chugged up in them in boxes, you know. So she didn't show her bedrooms, but you could bet mess because you know that just it is what it is. But she did show some of her apartment last night over there at Broadway. She was sitting up there in the dark. Like I said, drinking and getting drunk, depressed and sitting in the damn dark. But was she? Mm-mm. Like I said, her living room looked like a hallway. Yeah, she she's just really pitiful, and I don't really give her the I don't get to hit the panel and argue with her anymore. I ain't got time for that. I'll let somebody else do it. And like Brooke is doing a good enough job, honey. Cause Brooke tears her ass up. Because she talk about Brooke, she talk about her husband, and she talk about that little boy, her little boy. So Brooke do the same thing back to her, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. If you could throw a rock, I can too. You want to talk about mine? I'm gonna talk about yours, and I ain't gonna talk about them nice. But yeah, and like when that happens over in the Mo3 Beef Center with Brooke, after um uppity run off or whatever, Brooke always apologized to the channel holder, for her behavior. And most people don't do that. So, Brooke, keep doing what you do. Keep dogging her out. If she talk about your kid and your husband, do what you gotta do. And if you got to chase her all over YouTube, do it. And I hope I'll be in attendance. If it's over in the Mo3 sector, 9 times out of 10, I will be. But honey, I got my life last night. Do you hear me? And I didn't think no shit like that was gonna go on. But once that damn fire got lit over there, honey, it was lit. But 357 was so goddamn mad. Oh my God, he was so outdone. He was saying he didn't want no Rico apology. He didn't want shit from. I hope you die. And he was just because a lot of those people are homophobic over there in the Mo3 sector. It is what it is. The guys are homophobic, most of them. And it is what it is. You know. But so that's that on that. And let me uh pull my notes up, child. Yeah. Let me pull my notes up, child. Cause I have been so behind on keeping you guys up on where I've been. Uh Trying to look on here and see if I okay, now Lemon, he's been doing the same thing. Having most of the same people. There have been some new characters over there, but it ain't been just too, you know, like I said, he have changed his show a lot. He's not as, you know, going off and stuff like that. He don't do that so much now. It's and I'm getting used to it. You know, um, the other night I was over there and I seen Ghetto and Room Shaker was into it. That's about it. They still doing the Daria and the Rob Rack and New Era King, and I don't want to hear nothing about that. I'm sick of them. And the still stuff about the black sector, Candy Cartel, and they names going out. Diva, Clyde Diva, all of that. But I'm not really interested in that a whole lot. And so I don't really, it just, I'd rather, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to sit up for hours and look at them. Okay. So I just don't really participate that much. Now, child, the other day, On site April popped up in my timeline. And I said, I wonder what on site. Because it was a weird time of day. But she don't come on very often. But she said that her 14-year-old niece and this is her brother's child got sucked in a boy peen part by her sister. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And so I sit and I listen to it. And y'all, that's all I'm going to say about that. But if y'all want to hear the story, go over there to On-Site April's child. I only came on here and said my 14-year-old niece got caught sucking some peen. Well, that's on her child. But I was like, what? Talking about family gossip, child. Y'all, I'm through with that. Because if I say too much more, I might get in trouble, child. Okay? I was in on. Yeah, it was. Woo, Meet You Black. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, what? I was like, what? I shouldn't be laughing either, but it might be a nervous laugh. I was just saying, what? But she was crying and stuff too, talking about it. You know, like I said, I'm finna go away. I'm getting out of it. I'm getting away from that now. I ain't talking about that no more. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to 357. Since that was the last place I stopped off at. Now some of the people that's been over there is Mink, Ratchet, of course, Gina, Flame, SD, you know, just the just different people, and a whole lot of people have been active in the Mo3 sector because of the Joycey girl that Mo3 was with right before he died. She have did an interview and it has set the Mo3 sector on fire. Okay, but now y'all, I told y'all, I say every time Mink hit the panel over there at 357, somebody buy her down. And sometimes it be a bag that has already been sent in before the last start. They say get that bitch down as soon as she get the panel. Well, child, lately she have been getting to sit up on the panel for a while. So whoever it is, for some reason they kind of them bag back and no just get her so fast because a lot of times that's whoever this person is, they buy her off the panel and then they buy her out of the chat. So that's like $75 every time she hit the goddamn panel, child. Okay, well, getting past that. Well, I don't know if I told you guys this about last time I talked to y'all, but Gina, about a week ago or two, she actually did some cocaine online. She snorted some lines. Well, Brock had been trying to get her to do it again, and she kept saying, no, I ain't going to do it. She said, but I tell you what, I'll do it on May the 5th, which is my birthday, and that's the night I'm going to see Mary J. Blige. Okay? So she's supposed to be doing the shit tonight. But a couple of nights ago, child, she got off work and she had walked to the store. And so she had got her one of those cut water. She bought one of them. She was gonna buy one of them. And then Broadway told her, asked people to send her some money in so she can get like a 4 pack. Cause usually well, where I'm from, they don't sell single beers and single coolers and stuff like that. You got to buy the whole pack. But like in Vegas and other big cities, you can buy one. Well, somebody sent her the money and she bought a. She got to get a 4 pack. Well, when she was showing around in the store, Broadway seen some honey packs, and he told her, "Take a honey pack, buy a honey pack. How much is that? I'll buy it for you." And on the honey packs, which was the stuff that Shaquem be sucking all the time, walking around talking about he need a honey pack. Well, they stimulate the men and make the thing on hard. And so they got them for women too. But the lady at the store told Gina that this was just one kind for the male and the female, which was a lie. But they just want to sell the stuff. Well, child, Gina wound up buying the goddamn thing. Broadway paid for it, and she took it. And it allegedly it made her throw up. But she's and then he had her to go back to the store, and they got some rhino pills. Gina, you finna die. You actually finna kill yourself for YouTube laughter. That stuff make your heart race, and you in your 50s, Gina. Have some sense. You ain't got to have all the sense. Have some sense, Gina. You ain't been doing this kind of stuff. Everything that they having you to do is making your heart race. Cocaine, even though they buying it for you, that's making your heart race, Gina. The honey pack that you suck that was supposed to be for the men, you took that. And then you turn around and took one of them rhino pills. Now, I don't know if the rhino pills are just for the men. I don't know if rhino pills is just for the women. I don't know if they for both. I don't have a clue. But I'm sure they make your heart race. Okay? You 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 digging your own grave to get in. Ain't nobody digging it for you. You putting all this foreign stuff in your body. And then you doing it out here for everybody. Gina, you just gonna be another black lady that's dead. Even though you can buy the stuff over the counter, everything is not for you. You're not a young girl out here running around. You an old ass woman. And she said that that the pills didn't like stimulate her downstairs, but it made her nipples hard for like 24 hours. Child, she said you could hang keys like on a key ring. On her nipples, that her nipples were so hard. I'm laughing and I pulled it. She said she said her nipples were so hard. Her nipples were so that her nipples were so hard she couldn't keep drink. Oh Lord, I can't talk about that. Oh Lord, I can't talk about that. No. You oh Lord Jesus, imagine that walking around. At least she took it at night. Imagine walking around all day like that. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh, I'm crying. And some of the festivities that went on over at Broadway in the last couple of nights, Flame, he was into it with Mink, uh, Ratchet, and Ratchet was talking about how he covered Duke up because Duke had to say he had the heat stroke that time, and he was show, they say he was covering him up with blankets, wiping his face, and just all kind of stuff. And like Broadway don't like Duke, and I didn't know this. He don't care for Duke, and he said that Duke was cutting some niggas toenails for a place to stay, and I was hollering, child. But that went on. Uh, Gina also said that Danny is gonna do coke with her. So I guess Danny and uh, Gina are supposed to do cocaine tonight together. Now how I don't know, but because they live in two different states and two different sides of the USA, but they be gonna go live together and do it. I don't know. Um, Gina was into it with Royalty Rain and Mink. And on this one, that's when Gina did that honey pack and the cut water. Uh, that was the same night. And okay, now when Rico came onto Broadway's last night, the first time he hit the link, he was saying something because Gina was up there, and Rico was saying something about Gina had did something to get him P-bomb. I mean, to get him struck. Now, see, I didn't get the whole gist of that, but Rico was saying Gina had got him struck. Now, what Gina did to get him struck, I don't know, but Gina be moving around all over YouTube. Now, different people in the chat was saying, "No, Gina, that ain't like Gina. Gina, no, Gina do any damn thing because Gina proved herself in the beef sector when she had her ass out on the uh the sweater contest. So I don't put past nothing past Gina. Gina strips naked on here. She P bombs Broadways and other ones. She'll pull her titties out. She shows between her legs and her asshole. So what won't she do? She do that. And the other week, she had got put off of Broadways or one of them, either Mahaya's. No, it was Broadway. That was the night that she did the lines of cocaine. Well, wasn't nothing happening over in the Mo 3 beef sector. It was like late night, wasn't nothing going on. Really wasn't nobody live. And so she came over to the beef sector because Goosey was live. It was a couple of people live in the beef sector. And she was on like in there backstage with her titties out. Like when she popped up, she was be like nude. Now she did it at Goosey's and somewhere else. So Gina pulls any kind of stunt. And if you're not paying attention, like a lot of times Lemon don't really pay attention, he just bring people up. Well, she would have popped up on the screen butt naked. So, I don't put nothing past Gina. She done done it. She done done it all. She one women that like in the neighborhood that the men that did anything they want to do to them. That's what kind of woman she is. Because she done did it all on YouTube. She actually show her booty hole. Like open it up and let Broadway them look up in it. She done showed her cootie cat. Done let them look all up in it. She showed her titties for the world to see. So I don't what won't she do? And now she doing these stuff that they sell at the service stations, the honey packs, and I ain't heard, honey. I don't know nothing about no rhino pill, but some kind of rhino pill supposed to make you want to do it. What she won't do? She'll do anything. And this is a woman in her 50s. So the young girls ain't even doing the bullshit she do. You know the girls that don't know no better, they can get talked into shit. She doing that kind of stuff. You know, because all the girls, they mama and whoever ain't teaching them what to do and what not to do. And she one of them, but she never have grown out of it. She's still doing it in her 50s. And that's a damn shame. You know, that's a damn shame she ain't learned no sense by now. Okay. So now Eve, like this is on that new live that 357 started last night after Rico did what he did. What he did, he started another live and he was really mad and he didn't have a whole lot to say except fuck Rico and I hope he died. But other people was hitting the link. Well, IGT and Trapping got into it. Duke and Gina got into it. Uh, Eve and Mink and Reed was into it. You know, even though it can put a damper on his life, he still came back and started another life, which I'm glad he did because there was a lot of people just left out, but a lot of people didn't come back. I don't know if anybody else was live or what. Now, I after that, because I didn't even watch the whole second live because it was my birthday yesterday and I've been celebrating for days with my family and friends and loved ones. So I was sleepy and I slept. I need to plug my computer up. It's getting ready to go. It just made the noise. Just a second. I don't know why I don't pull this out before I go live. I don't even know what come on have it already plugged up. Okay, I got it. Now let me see what else went on. Child. My notepad take a second to come up. And y'all, when I looked in the Discord, because I had to be nosy after Rico did what he did, I went to look in the Discord, which is Captain's Discord. That's the one that's open to the public. That's all they was talking about in there. They was talking about how long balls was and how come they sag like that. And I was hollering. Do you hear me? And I'm gonna go back in there when I get off of here. I'm gonna go see what else they saying up in the Discord about Rico thing. And I did stick Alley to see what they had to say. You know, but like I said, I did not see it on the screen, but I done seen Rico thing 50 11 times. Okay, it ain't changed. So I, you know, and get a new one. I know what you got, and I done seen it throughout the years a zillion times. So I, if I would have seen it, but it shocked them over there in that Mo 3 set. I tell you that. I know that's what they're gonna be talking about over there today. Ooh, child, Rico, I can't. Where's my notepad at? Wait a minute, cause I can't play it by ear. Cause see, I got so far behind on my lives. Cause I think last month I only did one live, and so I got a lot of stuff. What the hell? Wait a minute. What's going on? Okay, I see it right there. Okay. Now, let me scoot it down. Okay, okay. Okay, now I've been watching straight like that. I've been going through there more than I normally would, and his show has really been good lately. That was a place that because Mink had been getting put bought down everywhere, and so she found that place which she had always went to, but that was where she was hanging out at, because he let her be on the panel and stuff like that. Well, Jackie them they've been going over there, and so now Mink don't go over the straight like that anymore, like she was. Well, some kind of way with all this changing around and straight like that, and Mink have got into it, and he really have been dragging her. Um, I don't know if they'll be able to come back from this, but I say that on any time people get into it that had used to be cool and now they not cool anymore. Um, I I can assume the reason that they're into it, but I actually don't know because I wasn't there. But I feel like with him and me, it might have affected their relationship because he let Jackie come over there. And, and I told y'all Jackie got that big old booty now, and she be twerking and stuff. And straight like that lets her twerk over there. And he have clipped her twerking, and he shows 50 11 times through his live. And see, when, like, I noticed, like, when Mia and different ones be on straight like that panel, when he plays Jackie twerking, they jump off the panel, and then you notice an exodus of people leaving the chat. Now, straight like that said that was Mink and her people leaving when he showed Jackie twerking. Because, the twerking is like putting your ass in their face. And straight, I think you know exactly what you're doing when you play that, which I know you like looking at Jackie twerk, but you also using that for another reason. You using that like to get at Mink them too. That's what I feel. But I might be wrong, but it sure look like that. Okay. Um, Wait a minute. Now the captain did a live last week, and I really enjoyed it because he haven't been live in forever, and I really miss him. But he said he's got to get some stuff together before he, be really active on YouTube again. Well, of course, his live was good. Mink was into it with Asia. Wait a minute, now, Mink and Asia was into it with Royalty Rain, and I mean they was dragging each other. Wu was into it with Asia, and Child Wu was now Wu. I don't really care for Wu that much, but Wu have been dragging her ass off lately, and she drug Asia, bless her heart, and she said that Asia got a purple ussy because she had been sending SD pictures of it, and allegedly he put her thing up on the live screen. When they do them picture things over there, and I think he got struck when he put that up there. And I think on the video she's showing herself like masturbating, and she was supposed to have been squirting allegedly, and they say she was peeing on herself. Now that's what Wu was saying, and Asia was into it with Royalty Rain, which Asia be boo banging with everybody. Remember, I told y'all that about Asia. She be just fighting, and she got into it with Royalty Rain, and she was telling Royalty to cam up, and Royalty cammed up, honey, in their garage because they talk about her. She don't drink in her house, and she don't smoke in her house. Well, she do up, she be out in her garage, dragging and stuff, and doing other things. Well, Asia told Royalty Rain to cam up, and Royalty cammed up on it, and her hair was pretty. She's not no ugly person. She's a cute lady. She's not a girl. She's a lady because she's been married 20 some years. Well, honey, she cammed up, and then she was twirling around, and she had several cars in her garage that they talk about her sitting in. You know, it's some of these people ain't even got, they homeless. But they talk about a woman that got like a 2 or 3 car garage and cars in it, and she have shown us parts of her house. She got the top of the line appliances. Her place is laid, okay? She's not a slouch. Her and her husband. And her husband is like one of them truck drivers that drive around that hazardous shit. They have to have them real good license and insurance to do that kind of work. Her husband drive one of them kind of trucks. They're not no slouch. They not slouches. And they've been married 20 some years. They should have things. But in Asia, she was saying, see there, I made you cam up. And she started laughing. And everybody was saying, well, yeah, she cammed up and she shit all over you. But Royalty not no slouch, honey. Royalty be sitting in their garage getting towed up. Okay? And that's her area. Now I think her husband work all night, and sometimes she get to be on here all night, but not like all the time because she have to work. But hell, if she want to sit in her goddamn garage and drink, it's a safe place. And she don't want to do it in her house because I guess maybe her husband don't want smoking and drinking in the house. I don't know. But like I said, she ain't no slouch. And like I said, she got anything a person could want, to me. But that's beside the point. Okay, and all right, and Zoop, he was up there on Captain panel at night. And SD was up there, and SD sent Captain a picture of Zoo. But Zoo Mia, She put your shit out months ago. I don't know why you still lying about who you are. As long as you lie, they gonna keep putting your stuff out here. You may as well say, okay, that's me. Okay. Now I'm going to Jackie. Jackie, her sister was like one of the last people to see Mo3 alive. Allegedly, he stayed at her house the night before, and when he left, from him getting to point A to point B, he was murdered on the freeway. Well, a lot of people blame her because allegedly one of the people that shot him was Jackie's sister, baby daddy. It's a mess. I don't dig into the Mo3 case. You know, I listen to some things that go on these, but a lot of time I just leave. Because I don't know enough about it. I'm just gonna wait till the trial. I ain't saying who did what. I don't know, but I know it's some people in jail for it, and they keep putting the trial off. I don't know the reason, but for some reason, every time for the trial, it get put to another day, which they do that in trial. Sometimes it take years and years and years. I think it's been like 5 years, since he was unalive. I don't know. It's the reason the things that's going on with the trial. I'm just waiting for it when they go in the trial and the judge see the trial. I ain't going by nothing what the people saying on YouTube, because 90% of them did not know this man. Didn't know none of the characters involved in the murder. So why would I believe anybody? The main person I would believe is the girl that was laying in bed with him before he died. She was the last one that seen it. I would want to hear what she got to say. I ain't gonna say she lying. I ain't gonna say she telling the truth because I don't know. But neither do these people that's calling her a setup girl and all of that kind of stuff. We'll find out the roles that people played when the trial comes. I ain't saying nobody did nothing because I wasn't there. You know. And that's it. That's all on that, y'all. But she did an interview. Joycey did an interview with this guy, Munchie or Minchie or something like that. She did an interview with him, and it set the Mo3 sector on fire. Sugar Shay, tell your mom I said happy birthday, even though I don't know her. And I hope I have many more too, child. But she did an interview, and see, a lot of people had been wanting to interview the girl, but for some reason she felt comfortable doing the interview with this guy. Well, he been getting a lot of flack, and she been getting a lot of flack ever since then. And I don't know what the damn problem is. I don't know why everybody's so mad. They ought to have been glad the girl was talking to hear what she had to say, because she was the last one to see the man alive. I don't get it. Well, they've been dragging her. They've been dragging her mama. They've been dragging her sisters. It's been an all-out war. Okay? Now, a lot of people say that her mother shouldn't be coming out here getting into this. Well, what mother is going to sit there and see her daughter get talked about, ridiculed, this and that? I would have come out the rafters too. T Toppers is a YouTuber. So she's supposed to just sit over there and not say nothing about people talking about her kids. Y'all done lost y'all fucking mind. If you're a mother that can do that, Sit up and let them talk about your kids and don't say nothing. You ain't no mother. T-top is to keep doing you. Just don't make yourself sick with this shit. But if you want to get out here and drag these bitches for dragging your kids, do what you gotta do. You a YouTuber, you on YouTube, and you hear this shit just like I do. And if you sit your black ass up and don't say nothing, you ain't no mama. Keep doing you. Just don't make yourself sick with it. If it get to be too much for you as a mother, you might have to find you something else to do. Occupy your time beside YouTube. But as long as you feel up to it and want to gang bang with these bitches, do it. You know. and that's it, and that's all on that. I ain't on nobody's side, but I know I be on my kids' side. If I had 50 of them, I'd be out there fighting for all 50 of them. If anybody mess with one of them. And that's just, and my family gonna be right there with me. They're gonna be right there with me. Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong for sticking up for my kids. They ain't gonna answer no question. They're gonna be out here slanging and banging harder than me. Okay? They'll say, sit back, auntie, sit back, sister. They'll be like that. You let us handle this shit. We'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later. Okay? But like I said, I think a lot of people just want to make money off of this, and they jump on anything they can, even if it's, I ain't gonna say the right side or wrong side, but a lot of people have ate ever since that girl did that interview. A lot of people done ate on it. Okay, they making up content. They got their own content and all that. So people are coming out the rafters on this one. So I don't know how long this will go on. Now the girl is supposed to be gonna do some more interviews. So is it gonna be a bomb every time that she do the interview? Will these, will the content creators still keep just? I would, like, why not? That's content for the sector. But it's content that, I don't get off into because, like I said, I wasn't here when the Mo3 sector started. So it's a lot of shit I ain't going to never understand until they go to court. And I probably still ain't going to get it. The only thing I get, why they want the mother, Jackie, mother, to act like their mother. Because my mother went to sit back, not one. Right? Ain't nobody go. What they do that? What they do that? Let people talk about your kids and you don't supposed to say nothing. Whether they write up like that boy that's supposed to be in prison, the girl baby daddy, his mom ain't gonna let people sit up and talk about him. If she was on YouTube, I'm sure she'd be out there slanging and banging, doing, it's her kid. They just not on YouTube, and I wouldn't come. I would not come. But hell, he still got a mama, and I ain't gonna say the boy did it. I don't know who did that. He might not have did. I don't know. I don't have a clue. But it will, a lot of it will come out in court if it do go to trial. Uh, a lot of times these cases don't even go to trial. People plead not guilty. And you still have all these unanswered questions. But the main question is this person pleaded guilty and the case is over. And it might be one of them cases. I don't know. I'm But like I said, on that Dolph trial, they made content off of Dolph for years. All that bullshit they talked was none of that shit in court. Okay. All that talking and saying stuff and who said what and what said who. Wasn't none of that shit in that courtroom. And that was years of content. You know, people out here just talking, you know, all over the USA. You know, knowing somebody that knows somebody that said this and a mess, child. A mess. Just a mess. Well, I almost said something. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me keep that to myself. Who is that in there? Oh, okay. I didn't see you go through, child. Thought somebody here snuck in there. Okay. Now, let's see what else. And at Jackie's the other night, because Jackie was dragging, okay? Different people, you know, that had been dragging her family. Well, Jackie was dragging. Well, while she was dragging, Danny hit the panel. No, wait. Yeah, Danny hit the panel. And Danny and her was up there talking and stuff. You know, they was having a good time, you know, talking and stuff. And so Jackie, you know, it got her off of her dragon game. And Danny was saying that Gigi had called her a dope fiend. And when she said that, Jackie was going to have Gigi to go up there. She said, hit the link, Gigi. And Gigi hit the link. So when Gigi hit the link, Danny asked her, why did she call her a dope fiend? Well, when it was time for Gigi to answer Danny, Danny kept cutting her off and not wanting to hear what she was saying. And so they got into it. And they was dragging each other back and forth. And Danny was drunk. And I think that Jackie might have dropped her. I can't remember. But then Gigi drugged Danny. She drugged Danny from sea to China sea. But Danny, it was a misunderstanding. Gigi didn't call you no dope fiend. And just because you hear dope fiend, that don't mean that's you. That's not your name. Now, as far as I know in the Mo3 sector, when they be saying dope fiend, they be talking about DB. But see, you done jumped yourself up in the front and saying you a dope fiend. And Gigi was saying she wasn't talking to you. But Gigi said since you said it was you, bitch, it was you. Now that's what Gigi said. And she said you are a dope fiend. And she went on and on and on and on about it. Well, the next day, y'all, Danny went live and she was going off. Okay? Danny went off for hours and I loved every minute of it. Okay? And she was mad at Jackie for dropping her. She was in. She was going off on Gigi. She drug the shit out of Gigi. It was a mess. Do you hear me? Danny woke up on demon time that morning. I can't remember if it was the weekend or what, but but Danny, it was all a misunderstanding, baby. But I don't think y'all. I think it's up and stuck between you and Gigi now, because both of y'all said a lot of things about each other. You know, sometimes misunderstandings happen, and I think this is one of the times that a misunderstanding happened. And you wouldn't you did not let Gigi answer your question when you asked her the question. when the lady tried to answer you, you would cut her off. And it was just one word led to the other. And then it exploded, you know. So I think it's up and stuck between them two. There's another one that don't like Gigi. So I'm just telling y'all. Let me see what else. Okay, and I put on here, uh oh, and Eve, now Eve, y'all know I'm crazy about Eve. Well, now I missed her live, but they say that she was dragging Jackie. And that was before Jackie went live. Well, when she went live, people was telling her, "Hey, Eve drugged the shit out of you, girl. She just drugged you and this and that." Well, Eve had wound up. Jackie was calling for Eve to come over there and hit the link so they could talk. Well, Eve didn't come, but then she wound up in the chat, and Jackie kept telling her to hit the link so we could talk about it. I heard you just drug me. I want to know what the problem is. Well, Eve wouldn't hit the link. Well, after Gigi and Danny got into it, Eve hit the link and she talked about everything except her dragging Jackie. And Eve announced, if anybody got anything to say to me, Polar Live, let's go over to Polar. I'll answer any questions over there. Polar's live. And then she dropped. And Jackie and Gigi said, I'd be damned if we stop the live and go over there to Polar. You know, even you knew better. Even you know that was wrong. And you know that don't nobody get up on no panel and announce somebody else live. Right, that wasn't right, Eve. But honey, some reason she wanted everybody to go over there. But it didn't work. Jackie kept up crowd, and I don't know. I don't really, like I said, I don't know much about Polar, and I'm not very interested in it. I've been over there before, and he's not the greatest content creator in the world, but I ain't lost nothing over there, okay? And it's like I said, I don't know him, so you know, I don't know what the big deal is, but whatever, I don't know that man. There's a lot of these people on here I don't know, and I ain't messed up about them. And if they do a live and I don't really care for them, I ain't going back 9 times out of 10 unless somebody over there acting a fool. You know, I'm not used to the way he do his commentary. Now, if I would have been here a long time ago and got off into him, that would be a different matter. I'd rather listen to 357 at Mahia and Captain and Bimp than him. Okay. And Jackie drug SD. She was calling him the pissiest, the crustiest nigga on YouTube. And she was saying his lineup of women are also the pissiest, crustiest bitches on here. And she said that like the last woman that he was with, he kept saying she had pretty hair and stuff. Now I never did see the lady, but they say she cammed up. Uh but Jackie said that woman looked like one of them things on Wrong Turn. You know that movie Wrong Turn? Them ugly things that was running around. That's what Jackie say that lady looked like, and I don't want to see her if she looked like that. And she said that, SD always talking about he got a bunch of women and this and that. And she said, your roster is trash. And she also drug Eve about using all them the big words. She say, dumb it down. We ain't your clients. She drug Rain. And Rain had got up on somebody panel, I can't remember, but he had said that if Jackie, Joycey, and her mama don't shut the hell up, that he was gonna like rain down on them. He was gonna set the streets on fire if they didn't shut the fuck up. And she said she ain't shutting the fuck up. Thing is on fire because you got some diseases. And her sister Joyce bad built, and the girl ain't bad built, honey. She got a figure on her. Rain have said she bad built, and Jackie say, Rain, have you looked at yourself to see how your ass built? And Mink was streaming Jackie. With Mink then, but she also act like she cool with Jackie. Uh, and that's when Danny hit the link. And then Danny started asking Jackie a whole bunch of questions about stuff about what's going on with her sister, about Jackie gonna have to pick a side and all that kind of stuff. And she told Danny hit the link and told Jackie that she didn't know who Mo3 was and that she ain't got no dog in the fight and people was gonna have to pick sides. Now I don't get that. And she said that she can't imagine what Jackie is going through. And Jackie was like, "Oh, it is what it is," and she wasn't. Jackie was actually, to me, she was answering too many questions to Danny because it wasn't an interview, and I would have been thinking like, "Why are you being so nosy? Why are you asking me this?" But Jackie kept answering her question, and then T. Toppers had got up there and told her to shut up, quit talking to Danny, and quit asking all them questions because you don't owe her nothing, and that people was gonna use what Jackie was saying to Danny against her in the long run. And she told T Toppers hit Link and told her, Jackie, to let them fish for their own shit. Don't just give people stuff. Let them get their own stuff. And her mother wasn't telling her wrong. And then Danny was thinking that her mama was talking to her when her mother was talking in general. And then Danny was drunk and coming, like coming at T Top is wrong and others on the panel. And T Top is then went off. It was a mess, okay? And 357, he was in the chat. Now, he's a mess. And he be typing crazy stuff in the chat. And so he was in the chat while all this other craziness was going on. And he was calling Danny Discord Danny. Because see, Danny B's on the panel, which I've seen this. I've seen her get caught red handed. She be in the Discord saying stuff to the people that's in the Discord. But then, like, watch this and watch me say this. She be doing shit like that. And then, like disrupting the panel. Well, at China's one day, China caught her red handed doing it and busted her ass out. And now Danny don't like China. But Danny, you was the one that was doing wrong. You was the one that was in Discord and acting like you was all friendly on China panel when you didn't care for them. You got caught. And China caught you and she busted you out. And ever since then, you have not liked China, which you didn't like China all the time because you like me them better. And the only reason that you unveiled your hatred for China is because China caught your ass red-handed. And you know what? Jackie's gonna have to do you the same way. But Jackie ain't even trying because she got all this other shit going on. But Jackie gonna get tired of your black ass playing in her face. And she gonna get you just like China did. Okay, young lady. Danny, I like you. But you sneaky. But honey, you ain't that sneaky because it's all done on the internet. Somebody gonna see you. Sure. And Danny, you be getting too drunk and too damn high on that cocaine and alcohol. How you gonna be a spy? How you gonna outsmart somebody? When you get so fucking drunk, you be falling down all the time. Even though I like seeing you fall down, it be funny and stuff, but you're not a spy, baby. Oh my God, Jesus. These people. And then when Gigi was dragging you, Danny, she said, now she was saying this to your face. She said, you look like a lizard. And she said, how you talking about graduating from law school and you be drunk every day? And she said, you look like a frog. And I put on here, Gigi drew the fuck out of you. Damn, Danny. And Danny, she got you your body because you went live the next day and you went off for hours, girl. You was so goddamn mad. Gigi got you, girl. And Big Baby hit the link. And she was just sitting there. Because Big Baby was getting ready to she was getting ready to destroy that panel. But she said, let me play cool. I'm just up here just in case Jackie need me. I'm just here. I'm just sitting here looking at y'all. Cause I think Big Baby had just got fed up. Looking at the madness. And I believe she was gonna pounce. But she just laid low and she didn't do nothing. She didn't have to do nothing. Okay, but y'all can't come at Jackie too hard because Big Baby, she out there, riding around the parking lot, waiting on people to start running out the club after get towed up. And then she get her couple of bodies. All right, now I'm left there. Now this is some of this stuff. This is older stuff because I did not go live much, but one time last month, and I didn't get to tell you guys about what I seen in February. That's all this is. So if you hear it saying, I heard this and all that, well, so what? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, now Book was live. Now I like going through there every once in a while. Um, I do. And I had been going by Books because him and Christina had met up in February, like they spent Valentine's Day together. So I've been running through there, because I kind of enjoyed their storyline. It was a little different because they actually met up. But they fell out. Their relationship didn't work. And so they've been going back and forth, and they've been going back and forth with each other. Well, Book don't want to have nothing to do with Christina, but Christina still. Well, he say he don't want nothing to do with her. Book be messing with Christina, and Christina be messing with Book. You know, and that's what they doing right now. But Christina keeps saying she gonna come to Florida to see Book, and Book said, "I have not invited you to Florida. Do not come nowhere near me. I'm gonna call the police on you if you come mess with me." So they like that, okay? And I love it. So I don't know how long they little storyline gonna go, but I'm getting my life with them because see, with Christina outsmarted Book because see, like when they met, they weren't supposed to be gonna make content out of like take pictures of each other and all of that. Well, honey, Christina knew Book ass was gonna turn on her, so Christina snuck and took pictures of Book and all that kind of shit. Okay, so before he could get her, she got him, and that didn't go very well with Book. I like the little thing that's going on and stuff, but sometimes relationships don't work. Sometimes you meet a person and you really don't like them, and I think that's what happened with them two. They didn't have nothing in common when they met up, and it wasn't. It turned out just like it was supposed to. You know, and he found out she was just as big of a snake as he was. She act like she's not a snake, but Christina's a snake too. Okay, it's a lot of snakes around here, and Christina is a snake that Book can't get rid of. Ooh, Lord Jesus. He thought that Christina was a young, dumb little thing. When she showed him she wasn't a young, dumb little thing. And now, well, Book keeps saying that he got Big Reed paperwork, and he say it ain't fake, and he be saying you robbed somebody and all of this, and so I don't know. The times I've been at Books, I haven't seen him docs Reed, but they say he have. Now I haven't seen that. And some of the things that he be telling Christina, he be telling her that she's gonna find out that don't nobody all of that. And they just be going back and forth with each other. Some of this stuff I'm skipping. Let me see. Okay, and I went by cupcakes. Now, see, like since this happened, since I went to Cupcake Lab on this live, she have lost her monetization. I don't know if she got it back, but she was really mad about it. And on this live, she was dragging Isha, and she drug her up pretty bad. She talked about how 88 beat her up, and then Sco showed the video, and she said that she got beat up so bad that that's why she made that edge serum that she's selling. Cause 88 scalped her. 88 did. She pulled out a lot of her braids when they was fighting. And she said that Isha fucked after 88, which her and the captain used to mess around. So 88 got a baby by the captain. So Isha, therefore Isha F after 88. And she said that E should be over there sitting with TT, and she said, "Okay, neither one of them keep no man. Isha can't keep no man, and TT can't keep no man." That's about it on that. Okay, now I went by Reed's. I'll be going by there. Well, him and Eve got into it a couple of months ago because Eve was on his allegedly Eve was on his panel, and she started saying stuff about his kids. Well, ever since then, Reed have been dragging Eve, and he said he was gonna drag her forever. And then he changed to 40 days and 40 nights. Well, he is still dragging her. He kept his word, y'all. And for talking about his kids. And now the last thing he said, that I heard him say is that, because allegedly she been trying to apologize to him. And he said in the future, if anybody try to apologize to him, they needed to send it with a cash out. He said he don't want to hear shit. Don't tell nobody to tell him nothing. Don't make no live talking to him about it. He said put your apology on a cash app, and he'll think about whether he gonna accept your apology or not. I said, get on, Reed. And Reed also said that Wu ass did the towel challenge again. Wiping between her legs with a towel. And if it ain't no brown stuff, if you got brown stuff on the towel, you got to, if you don't got brown stuff on the towel or whatever color discharge that a woman have, I think it's disgusting. Wu, stop that shit. That don't make no goddamn sense. Stop doing that. That's nasty. Reed said that Wu pussy is on flat, child. And I fell out, okay, like a flat tire. He said Wu look like a clown. And he also said that Wu is the devil. On one of the like ST and Royalty, they was into it over there at Reed's. And then Asia got into it. She jumps in, go Asia be wilding everywhere. She fight it on every panel. And so her and Royalty got into it. Now this is when back when Stacks in China fell out, well, Reed had her a funeral. So I wound up going to 2 homecomings in a week. Cause Stacks had a funeral. Her funeral was on April the 7th. Cause see, this back old stuff. Well, her funeral was April the 7th. And that's my brother's birthday. Well, you remember Gina Dog died. And so I wound up going to a dog funeral too. And 357th Broadway had a dog funeral, which Gina was over an hour late too. Child, I say I done started going to funerals on YouTube with the child. Y'all stop. Okay. Yeah, I went to the dog wake one night and went to Stacks the next child. And this was the time when, well, 88 and SD stay into it. They lovers and friends and brothers and sisters and all these in one ball. So sometimes they be, now they are what he call it now? Cause they named a new one. Okay, they've been brother and sister. They've been lovers. I think cousins or something. They got a new name for it. They changed their stuff out. But he said that she had cried over him that day. And SD had was real hoarse at that time. I don't know what was wrong with his voice. I don't know if he got sick, which the best of us get hoarse. Sometimes it don't be nothing wrong with you, just get hoarse. And I think that might have been something with that. Okay, now Reed played a clip from 357 Broadway, one of his shows, where Eve told DG how she pegged him. And I was saying, ooh, child. But yeah, she said that she had pegged him, and that pegging mean doing it up in a booty. And he kept playing that over and over. Reed did. Okay, now I'm going over the channels. See, I'm skipping a lot of this when I'm reading through it because it's so old. You know, I'm just gonna try to get through here. Now at China's, now I'm gonna tell you just some of the people that's been hanging around over there lately. And one person I was really surprised when I seen them back over there. My eyebrows went up and my antennas went up. Okay, Sanity have started back being over there every day on the panel, all day and all night and all day. But when she found up, popped back up over there, I was like, huh? And I just sit back and say, I wonder how long is this gonna be? I wonder how long this gonna last. Which it didn't last but a couple of weeks because the other day when I was at China's, I noticed she wasn't on the panel. And then I was hearing stuff about something went on with them. Now I haven't had a chance to get on the panel with China because I've been just really busy, and sometimes I be missing her live and have to watch replays, and I just haven't had the time to watch the replays lately. So what I'm gonna do with my no black ass, since I do go to China, I'm gonna hit her damn link, and I'm gonna ask her what the hell happened with you in China. Cause see, she had got in good over there. Her and Flame called themselves was having a fling and all this kind of stuff. Well, now China, something happened between them, and Flame is on China's side and all of that, using her picture as thumbnails, and they've been putting pictures up of Sanity, which was not good pictures, and all of that. But something happened, and I wonder did it happen on China's live, or did she hear maybe Sandy saying something about her out in the streets? I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna have, like I said, I got to make myself, because I used to be in China live every day, but sometimes your routine can get thrown off, and my some kind of way I have gotten thrown off, and I'm just not being in some of the lands I used to be in. But maybe I'll get back on track. Okay. Well, Sanity and um, Sweetest, they've been into it. They was meeting up over there at China's and they was bumping heads. Uh, they would bump heads at my heads, different places that they be at. out here in the YouTube land, them two will get into it. And Sweetie say that she have been going at Sandy is because back in the past, Sandy used to mess with her all the time, and now the trade turned, and so Swedish feel like messing with Sandy all the time, and she say she gonna do it until she get tired of doing it. That's what Sweetie say. Sweetie say she ain't gonna stop till she get ready. You know what I'm saying? Get out, Swedish. And Flaming Op Mia had got into it over there at China's, and she ran out the panel. And the reason that Flame got into it with her is because she was trying to drag Jackie, and that's when Jackie in China was real cool. Well, no, I'm not gonna say real cool. I'm just gonna say it was okay. And China, a lot of times if she kind of likes somebody, she won't let people drag them on her panel. And back then, she wasn't allowing nobody to say nothing against Jackie. And she really don't, even though they not cool like they, cool right now, she don't let them drag Jackie now on her panel. So I don't, I'm thinking that Jackie and China and them gonna be back where they could tolerate each other. Because I noticed that China been on Jackie's panel, so she don't have a whole lot to say. But I think that if some shit went down, she gonna be on Jackie's side, and that was whoever out here in the YouTube land. If some shit go down, China she gonna have Jackie back. Now she might not have Big Baby back, but I know she'll have Jackie back. That's the way I feel about it. I might be wrong. And now China has said something I was really surprised about. She says she don't know how to flag, but she know how to strike. Now I know she can strike, but hell, I thought she knew how to flag too. But she says she don't have a clue on how to flag. But if she learn how to flag and strike, boy, she gonna be hell. Cause she will strike the shit out of your channel. And she said that Mink had used her picture 7 times in one day. And so that's why she started striking Mink and took her page. And see, I didn't know that. But see, I don't know a lot about the striking and flagging and stuff. I don't know a lot about that. You know, I just don't. See, I don't even know if you can lose your channel if you get flagged. I don't know if it takes so many flags to get a strike. I don't know none of that shit. But I know if you get three strikes within 90 days, you can lose your channel and don't come back. And she said that she had been striking me bag up page, because she had used a picture that 7 times in one day. And so she said that, she just kept striking her. And then, like when they had the situation with Stacks and China and Jackie and all of them, that's how they breakup happened. Okay. But China says she's always open to talk to Jackie. So, I think that they're gonna be cordial, but because China really like Jackie. Okay. Now Cam been having some really good live. Uh, you know, he back, and the people seem to be glad that he's back, and he have a good crowd, and the people be donating and buying membership. You know, um, wait a minute, make sure. Wait, before I go. Okay, now when China, because it was a big deal with China, Asia. I mean China, Jackie, Stacks, Big Baby, and it had a whole lot to do with Stacks. And then Stacks left, and she haven't been back. So China was left to, holding the bag in so many words. And a lot was said, and it was a mess. And that's how Jackie them fell out. But I ain't going all into detail. But when this was going on, Book kept telling kept telling China, hey, you need to send Stacks up. You need to tell everything about that bitch and all of that. He was talking to her like that. And then he gave her like 48 hours. That she better drag Stacks, she better do something. But did nothing happen. But he was putting it out there. He wanted China to go for he wanted her to knock Stack head off. But see, Stacks left and ain't been back, but I believe she's still here in the clouds, or either to change her name and she just ain't hitting links. But it is what it is. But it was all kind of people out for China at that time. And I will go into the story, but it's too long. And so I'm going to just skip over that because it's not important. But if it do come back up later on, that big mess, I will go into more detail about it. Okay. And China's in kind of a messed up situation because a lot of people that she like, her boo don't like. And a lot of people that her boo like, China don't like. Okay? So that's a bad situation to be in, and especially on YouTube. Now in real life it's bad, but imagine on YouTube when you got all these people eyes all on it and all of that, you know. And then some of the people that you like pick on the other people, just a damn mess. Well, see, some of the people that Max don't like is, wait a minute, it's 357. Yeah, I had a list of them. Okay, Mad Max, he don't like Jackie. He and China used to like Jackie. He don't like 357. China can go over there and get on his panel. He don't like Duck. He don't like Big Baby. Now, out of all of them, the one that she wouldn't have any problem getting rid of was Big Baby. But the other one, she cool with him. And see, her man, he don't like them. But see, China don't like, not on my watch, Woo. I mean, not on my watch, Mink. But see, Mad Max like them. So that damn if you do and damn if you don't, child. When you get around all them around, child, it could be a bit much. Okay, now I'm getting the cam. Now when Cam come on, that's like a neutral turf. Just ain't no telling who all you'll see over there. He have a good crowd. And let me see. Now Cam and 88, they had got into it. Okay, and there's supposed to been a big explosion. It was pretty big, because 88 wound up giving Cam phone number out and all kind of bullshit. They got into it like that. And 88 was dragging Cam, son that died, and all of that kind of shit. It was mud being thrown. But a couple of months ago, they was talking about going to Vegas, because they have been to Vegas together. So they was talking about hooking up, going to Vegas again. But then they had this big explosion, had this big falling out. And both of them are saying, no, it ain't no coming back from this. I'm sick of them. I don't want to be cool with them no more. I don't like them, blah, blah, blah. They've been going back and forth. And all of a sudden, it all settled down. They're not saying nothing about each other or nothing like that. Well, after Joycey had her interview, Cam had did a live, and all the heavy hitters was over there. Well, guess who else was over there? 88 was on the panel. Now, y'all were just trying to kill each other and saying there ain't no coming back from this and ain't no coming back from that. But then you over there on the panel now. We cool. So I said, okay. So then they were saying that, well, Cam said, just because you over here, I'm letting you be on the panel. It's the only reason I'm letting you be over here is because it's a hot topic, and that's everybody. Ghetto twins, yeah, that's what it was. But don't think we cool. Okay, we'll see. It's getting closer to that Vegas time. Now you watch. I believe in my heart that they're gonna wind up in Vegas together. Now we'll see when that happens, okay? Because Vegas is supposed to be coming up pretty soon. And we're gonna now y'all will try to kill each other. Now we're gonna see if y'all gonna be in Vegas together. Y'all saying that there ain't no coming back from this. You done talked about my dead kids. You done gave my phone number out. Ain't no call coming back from this. We're gonna see when the Vegas time come up. And that's all I got to say about that, child. And I want to just let y'all have something to look at. And y'all see just like I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, now this one of them lives, I told you how Asia be boo banging everywhere she go. Well, of course she was over there at camp, and of course she was woo banging. She was into it with Magnificent Tyler, Room Shaker. Trying to see if there's somebody else. It was just a lot of people into it. Okay, and Room Shaker and Woo was into it with Toya on that live. Asia was into it with Woo. And this was along at the time when Mink was saying that Sean G had stolen her MacBook. And she kept saying, and she was saying she had him on video. She had went to the police and all that kind of stuff. Well, then Cam drug Mink because he said that she found her MacBook. Because see, he kept asking her for the video of Sean G stealing it. And Mink kept telling him she was going to give it to him. Well, then all of a sudden she said she found it when she was moving. like packing the move, that she had found it in a drawer. Well, he been, he was dragging her. He drug her until he just got tired. I don't even think he want to drag her no more now, because he was dragging the shit out of her. You know. Okay, now on one of his lives, Mahaya and Trapping was dragging each other, and Opmia and Royalty Rain was into it. And Royalty gave her address for Opmia to come, since you so bad. Well, y'all, Opmia's a coward. She ain't coming nowhere. Because Jackie was just in her city, was telling her to drop a location and blah, blah, blah. And Opmia, I guess so many people had told her, hey, Jackie here, and y'all supposed to meet up. Well, Mia said, hey, I'm going out to eat my daughter. I ain't meeting no Jackie. But as soon as Jackie got back to wherever city she lived in Texas, Mia started talking about how she'll kick her ass again. Mia, stop. You ain't gonna kick nobody ass, girl. You just talking that shit. And Mia was supposed to have flew into wherever Jackie lived in Texas. She was telling her, I'll be there at 2 o'clock, and then we can throw down. Well, Mia never did wind up going, so she's just a lot of hot air. Just drag, don't threaten, and don't be talking about pulling up. All you gotta do is drag. You ain't got to talk about meeting up and all that, because ain't nobody gonna pull up. Now they do pull up over in the Mo 3 sector, which I've witnessed, but it's some people ain't gonna pull up, and if, like I said, I ain't gonna pull up on nobody. You know, she not gonna do it, and she ain't want nobody pulling up on her. Well, several people have been saying they'll pull up. Okay, and on one of Cam's live, he was dragging Eve. DG drug slap gang. Now, why they was into it, I don't know. And Mink was dragging Cam right back. And when Cam was dragging Mink, he was saying that he heard that she had beat up her mama. He was telling her to clean her house up. He said that she too crazy to take a bath. He was just telling her, you need to get up and wash your ass. He was saying stuff like that to her. And it was pretty bad. But this is back in the past. Because I don't know if they cool now, but it had got pretty bad with Mink and him at that time. But like I said, you know how it is on YouTube. You trying to kill each other today, and tomorrow y'all out eating together. Or in somebody's swimming pool. You know, I done seen it too many times. Shoot, but we at a pool party now, and I wouldn't be nowhere near no water with somebody like don't like me. Okay, let me see. I am trying to get through with this. I am so behind. Okay, let me get. I'm past Cam now. It's still a lot of notes, but I ain't going into it. Okay, now I went by Big Babies, and she on this live she was saying that she ain't going nowhere. She like YouTubing and she gonna keep YouTubing, but she was saying that sometimes that they take it too far on here, and she said that they be talking about her child, her little boy, and she said as soon as she snapped back, they people want to call the police on her PO, but she said she just glad that it's good with her and her PO. That her PO know that she's a YouTuber and what this is all about. On that last, she drug Sexy Trapper. I don't know why. I don't know what her and they about. Um, and that was about it. SD went live. He had Wu got bought down. Christina got bought down. Danny got bought down. It was just a lot of that. And on here, 88 said that all that SD was good for. He was good for money, head, and dick. And Sexy Trapper on this live of SD's Sexy Trapper drug Lack and Big Baby. So that's all. And I don't know a whole lot about Sexy Trapper. That's another one. Okay, now I'm going to Danny. Now Danny drug Gigi. You know, remember I told y'all that they got into it over there at Jackie's the night before. Well, now I'm at Danny's, and I told you guys all about what was going on. Danny was saying, now this is some of the stuff that Danny was saying that morning. I told y'all she woke up and she was going off. And this is the note I put on here that Danny thought that Gigi had called her a dope fiend. Which she said something about a dope fiend, but she didn't say Danny is a dope fiend. But it all got took out of proportion and it was a mess. Well, the next day when Danny got up, she started dragging Gigi, and she said that Gigi live in a hotel. She will say that Gigi wear dirty wigs, and she was talking about like the salary that Gigi got now. That ever since she got that $700, because she had asked for $700 because she needed help on her rent the other month, and so people started donating, you know, to help pay her rent for the $700. She said that Gigi had bought some hair with that money or a wig and been wearing the same style ever since. And she said you need to throw that damn wig away and get you a new hairstyle. Um, she said that Gigi violated a real woman, and that's what she was talking about herself. And she said that she violated Danny by talking about her. And Danny said, "I'm a real woman." And then she also said that she had to get 88 together on that live. You know, that was about it. But honey, she was going arm and hammer for hours the other day. She was so mad. Well, Danny did another live back in the past, And Mink was on the link, and she was saying that she had it. It was said that Mink had invited the captain to her home housewarming, and she was supposed to be having it in June. And she had asked the captain if he wanted to come. Well, the captain, he said he might, you know. So I think they supposed to have a big thing in June, at Mink New Place. And that's next month. Well, Danny have gotten her eye on Montello, and she think he's the greatest thing since peanut butter and cornbread. I mean, and peanut butter and bread. Child, she be talking about how she love him, and she just be saying all kind of stuff, and her face just lights up when she talk about Martello. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, or I might be saying it wrong. What child? Danny was dirty dancing for him, and she was dancing to Prince, the beautiful ones. And she was dancing, and she was doing dirty dancing. She was all on her bed. She was rubbing her body and telling him to come here. She was saying that she just wanted to have sex with him, and that he makes her ussy wet. And somebody looked it up how much it takes for her to fly from whatever state she live in to where he live at. And at the time of the live, the flight was $149. Now I'm thinking that's just one way. But Danny said that she said y'all might not even like each other. She said, but she just want to make love to you one time. Uh, Wait a minute. She said that she fell in love the first time that she laid eyes on him. She was just talking all like this and all like that, which she been doing for weeks, okay? For some reason, I don't know where she seen that man at, but when she seen him, she been talking about him ever since. Now, after doing all of that and saying all of that, she was wanting to know if he was married. They say that man married. Leave that man alone. She was saying that she would treat him better than seeing City treated him. She was just saying everything, and I was getting my life, okay? Now, I don't know how this is going to work out. Now, one thing I did notice, Martello be in the chat saying stuff back to her, okay? He be saying stuff to keep this going on. And see, I be seeing that, but I didn't put down the stuff that he be saying from the chat to her. Now I'ma just keep an eye on it. I might start typing the stuff that he be saying back to her. But honey, she is smitten with that man. Okay. And okay, now this is going back in time. Now one on this live, Danny said that Jade sucked a man's peen on Lex. Now I don't know, but I did hear about that. But I don't know how true that. Well, I believe because too many people out here were saying it that she sucked her man thing on that panel. Now the other night at Straight Like This, I see that made me think about something that happened at Straight Like That, and this is very recent. This was like a day or two ago. Jade been hitting Straight Like That panel, and she said that the other night she said that she wasn't with no man or nobody, and she said that she was gonna enjoy her rose. Now that was the last thing I heard that Jade say, that she was gonna, enjoy her rose, child. So Jade's still here around here lurking around. Okay, now this night at Danny's, she was dancing and stuff, and she fell, and her screen froze, and I was hollering. Now Danny drug Woo, you know, on that line, she was dragging. Uh, and Wu and Danny had got into it, and Wu also got into it with Christina and Asia. Of course, Asia got into it with Wu. Asia got into it with Gina, and she drug Gina and her dog. And Kareem and Asia got into it. Okay, now I'm through with that. Now I'm going to Mahia. Y'all know Mahia, I always have a good laugh. On this lab, Wu got bought down and she got bought back up and she got bought down again. Mike Martin got bought down and he got bought back up again. And on this live, I had put a note on that Mia did not meet Jackie to fight, and that's when she was supposed to be flying to whatever city Jackie lived in, and they were supposed to be meeting up like at 2 to fight. Well, Mia didn't show up. Gigi hit the link and she drugged TT, and she was calling TT a senior citizen and all that kind of stuff. TT and Gigi do not like each other at all. Now, on this is another live. This is the lab that Uppity wound up hitting Mahia link the other week and made a total ass out of herself. And I put on here, it was Mahia, Gina, Uppity, Brooke, Malik, Swedish, Wu, Gigi, Sanity, and Slim was some of the people that was on the link. Now on this live, Gina Man was packing to leave her. Now I don't know if he was leaving her to go to work. I don't know if he was leaving to whatever. But evidently he did not leave her because he's still with her on these present lives. You know, you could hear her talking to him in the background and stuff. And on this lab, that Valero, he was upset because his brother had choked his girlfriend out. And then he had ran back to Louisiana. And see, then Valero was saying that he was packing to leave. Now I don't know, like I say, if he was going to work or if he was leaving Gina, but evidently he did not leave Gina because he's still with her now. But see, Gina has said that Valero brother was mean. And I'm glad that she got him out of her house. Okay, now it was another lie. Christina was on the panel at Mahia's, Jackie, Wu, L, Room Shaker, Swedish. Wu and Jackie got into it. You know, they was dragging each other. On this lab, it was Mahia, Tulsa, 88, and several others on the up there. Not on my watch. Not on my watch got bought down, and Tulsa got bought down. And 88 showed Lawrence being messy in the Discord. And he was saying he wasn't messy. And 88 was calling him a tattletale. And he was calling Jackie ugly. And, you know, just doing, you know, on here, people, you don't like somebody today and they like you tomorrow. So Lawrence is like that. He, you know, maybe back then he was into it and didn't like Jackie, but him and Jackie okay now, as far as I know. And T Toppers got up there and lightly drug him, but it wasn't nothing big. Not on my watch was into it with 88 and Cooling. And Cooling and Not on My Watch they was dragging each other pretty bad. Roasted Toast and Gina was into it. And on another lab, it was Royalty, Gina, Asia, several others. Royalty got bought down. Gina got bought down. Meg Tyler and versus Asia, they was into it. Meg Tyler was into it with WAP. Meg Tyler was into it with Duke. Asia and Gina was into it, of course. Royalty Rain and Gina was into it. It'd be like little fights all over YouTube daily, you know. Rune Shaker was into it with Gina and Skull drug Gina. That put a note on there. Wait a minute. And this I'm not going back on this, but it was when the mayor had charged this lady $50 to get some information, like from Big Baby being arrested, and he never did pay the lady back. So I ain't going all through there because that was stupid. Okay, now I went by 88's one day and she was dragging a captain because he was talking about her in the Discord. So that's when she started dragging him. I think this was back when her and Cam was really into it really bad. Because when she was dragging Cam, somebody went over in the Discord and said that Brandon was saying stuff, was typing stuff about her in the Discord. And you know how people is, somebody went, while 88 was dragging Cam, somebody ran over to 88 to let her know that the captain was talking about her in the Discord. And then she switched and started dragging the captain. Which, she drag him whenever he want to. She want to. And he drag her whenever she want to. It's just, it is the way it is with them two. And when 88 was dragging Cam, she was calling him a bitch, pussy, scary. And then this was back too when her and 88 and a Bubba had went to work out. 88, what Bubba was showing her, they were showing they workout, how they were working out and stuff. Child, 88 ain't been back since. She's probably been going on this wonderful diet. Gonna have a Bubba as her trainer and all of that. That shit ain't been back on since. 88 ain't studying about no working out. Now Bubba, she works out. And child, now Bubba be doing lives. Her lives be, about working out, uh, eating right, self help, different things like that. Different kind of conditioners you might use on your skin or your hair. You know, all kind of little tips and stuff. Well, child, one of the people that's loving on whatever she's doing right now is Fly Rebel. They say he be over there in her lives all the time. And there don't be very many people in her lives, but Fly Rebel bees in the chat, honey. and he's mesmerized by uh, her beauty. Okay, well, you know, Fly Rebel is supposed to be with Isha. Now, I want, well, I think Broadway made it be known to Isha about Fly Rebel hanging around over there at a Bubba's, honey. So I don't know how this gonna work out, but Isha haven't said nothing. But several people have told her that Fly Rebel be over there at the Bubba hideout. Cause see, she don't have very many people in her chat, but he's one of them, child. And I was saying, ooh, child. That's what I got to say about that. And Big Lack and Mink, wait a minute, Big Lack, Mink been into it, and you know he been into it with the captain for months. Well, Big Lack have a AI lady, which a couple of the content creators do have people that do AI stuff for them. And he have made like two news commercials, AI commercials, and one of them is on Mink and one of them is on the captain. He did the first one on the captain saying he was a predator on the loose like a rapist and blase this and blase that. And then he turned around and he did one on Mink and it's saying that she's like a lot lizard, that she had, I think, herpes or something like that. And just saying all that kind of just things like that. Well, see, I have not heard the captain if he has replied back to Lack, and I haven't heard if Mink has replied back to Lack. But sometimes he get on his channel and he plays those commercials a lot. Well, he, I'm trying to think of who live that was. I don't know if it was Mahia's. I don't know if it was 357. Maybe I made a note of it on down in the notes. But right now I can't think of the live. But he paid whatever content creator I'm talking about. He paid them to play the commercials throughout their live, child. And I was like, what? It was like watching like a TV show, and every once in a while they put commercials on. That's what that lab was like, and I was hollering. You hear me? Lack is a mess. Yeah, that fool, honey. He done had his AI woman to make him some commercial. Okay, now I'm going to Lack. Okay, now Lack, he was dragging on one of his lab. He was dragging Cam over 88. Because he didn't. The situation with Cam in 88. He don't like how Cam been talking about 88. So Lack made a live dragging him. That was one of the people he was dragging in the live. And then, while in the mix of him dragging Cam, Lack Mama called, so he had to put us on mute and he had to talk to his mama. So after he got to talk to his mama, he didn't care nothing about dragging him anymore. Okay, now SD was over there one night and he was dragging, he was into it with Jade. And he was telling her she can't never come back from sucking somebody DICK online. He was asking her, what about her family? What about her kids? And he was saying that she was a dope fiend. And she was going back at him too. But SD, I don't know why you acting like that with such a big deal. What Jay did it. You be having women on there telling them to suck your thing. Like that girl that they say that look like wrong turn that you had the other night. You was trying to get her to suck your thing online. You done had women suck your thing online. Jay just happened to be one of the women that suck thing online. So what's making her be like you being disgusted and outdone and outraged when you do women the same way? I don't get that. And BZ and and SD got into it. And you know, Bees is kind of tired of SD because he be dragging her and stuff. And so now, honey, when she get him, and she been tearing his ass up lately. Now he have left her alone, but Beezy be body slamming SD. You know, she drags him into submission, and I've seen her do it a couple of times on here lately, because she says she just sick of him. You know, she wish he died. She say she's so sick of him. She wish he died, and she say he have repeatedly lied on her, and she just sick of him. You know, but yeah, he have been going at her pretty hard, but honey, she goes back at his ass harder. And then he was talking about how cause Jay liked to wear makeup. He didn't like her to wear makeup when they was together, but she likes to wear makeup. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's what the woman want to do, it's her body. It ain't illegal. People they sell makeup everywhere. But Jay likes to wear a little makeup. It's not like she be overly made up or anything. But SD do he thinks she ugly with makeup on, and he be saying all kind of stuff, which I think is stupid. And they not together anyway. You know. Uh, shit. They was calling SD Princess Pyru. You know, and I'm through with Lack because that was getting ready to go back into all that recording and stuff. When him and Stacks and China, and I don't feel like going all into that. SD got mad at Lack and went live, and he said that Lack had a failed rap career. And then SD, you know, because he was supposed to be going to just drag Lack. Well, he couldn't concentrate because he kept looking into the chat, and different people were saying stuff. And he happened to see a lady named Twy in the chat, and he got mad and started dragging her, and it was a mess. He was all out of it, and then he played Purple Rain, and he ended the live because you know, like he said, Purple Rain. When he hear that, it make him want to fight. It make him want to act a fool and stuff. Well, child, he was outdone, and he put Purple Rain on and stopped his live, and we rolled in that chat. Do you hear me? And Gigi, now this is one of her laughs. Now this is back when they had played some recordings of Gigi, like saying stuff about. They were saying that she was talking about Mahia, but she wasn't really to me. She wasn't talking about Mahia, But it is what it is. Some people say the recordings was bad. Some people say they wasn't, but when Gigi played the record, she played both people talking. It wasn't just her saying stuff. Like on the recordings that they released on Gigi, it was only her talking. And you don't talk to yourself. Well, come to find out, Gigi put her recordings out and it would have like Mad Max talking to Gigi or whoever. And Gigi responding back. Now that's a conversation. But the recordings they put out before was one sided. It was just Gigi talking. And Gigi was putting out the whole recordings on why was this conversation come about? Why did I say what I said? Okay. So after Gigi started putting that out, that shit died down. They made the biggest issue out of Gigi. She said this and she said that. Once Gigi put them damn recordings out, it stopped all that talk. Gigi wasn't the biggest, baddest bad guy. And good job, Gigi. And hold your other shit, like I said. Don't put all your shit out here. Because that little bit of spray you did shut these bitches up. It shut all of that up. All this and all that talking. And when they found out Gigi had recordings of everybody talking, everybody stopped talking. Okay? They didn't know she had that. And she said she got a whole lot more to come on with it. Okay? And they didn't come with it. They thought they had Gigi by the balls, child. Mm-hmm. Gigi put out the videos, the recordings of everybody talking, okay? She shut that shit down. And she said she'll come back out here with more. If there need to be more left to say it, be left, be said. She said she got all her Discord, that whatever they was doing, that group, she said she got all that on who said what. She said all you got to do is just push the button, whatever play. And whoever talking about these folks out here in YouTube spear, it's gonna come out. Whoever. She don't care who hit on the chopping block. Because she said she ain't digging through all that shit. Okay. Okay, now the captain went live. Now this old DJ was into it with NASCAR. And NASCAR, he was talking about DJ leg, because he hurt his leg at work some kind of way. Now I don't know how, this was a long time ago. I don't know what happened to that man's leg. All I know is when I noticed DJ, he was at home a lot, because he had I come to find out he had a work injury. And whatever he did to his leg, it messed it up for a long time. And he back at work now, they say. But I don't know a lot about DJ. Book and Zoo was into it with Straight Like That. They was calling Straight Like That a dyke. They were just going back and forth. And I don't know much about NASCAR. So I don't really, you know, I can't say whether NASCAR is good or he bad, but he was into it with Book, and he was laughing and talking about Book being in a squad because he cool with Mob, Meek Mob, and Danny was on live, and Book and Zoo was going at Danny, and Danny's son was there, and he didn't want them talking to Danny like that. And she was saying, "No, this okay." And this, was talking to her son. Don't what this ain't nothing. This and that. And then Danny went on mute, and her son, you could tell they was into it in the background on Captain Live. And I mean, they was into it almost the whole live. And I'm glad that it was muted. You know, because I don't know anything about Danny and her children, but I know she do have a son because I heard him talking to her, and you know, I would have just left off the lab and didn't handle my child because he grown. He sounded like he was grown. He might not be, but he sounded grown. Uh, or right at grown. But like I wouldn't be into it like in my household with anybody. While on YouTube, I would cut this shit off because I can always come back to this. But I need to go handle my personal business. But I've seen a lot of people stay online even when they into it with people in their household. But I ain't gonna do that. And that's about it. Yeah, that was old, but I tried to get all of that stuff out because like I said, I didn't go live but once last month, and uh you know like I said, I'm caught up now, so now I can go forward with. And that's another thing that SD, because him and 88, they be brother and sister, they be lovers, and the person put in here ghetto twins. That's what they call each other now. And they just hell, I don't know what to call them. I don't know what to call them. Cause I mean they were calling each other brother and sister, and come to find out then they started messing around. And I was saying, what? See, I don't play that brother, sister, auntie, grandma. I don't know none of these people on YouTube. I ain't getting nothing. You ain't my daughter. You ain't my brother. You ain't nothing. You are. Hey, E Money. Hey, Ron Shaker. Hey, yours truly. I'm calling myself gonna speak now before I leave, child. I got that out pretty fast in less than 3 hours. Hey, Dimples. Girl. Yes, he pulled his peen out. Dimples. Dimples, they acted a fool over there in the Mo 3 sector last night. Girl, it was a mess. Uppity was over there showing, acting a goddamn fool. Rico came over there. Him and Mahir got into it. And Broadway had put Rico up on the big screen. And he had to go do something in the house, girl. And when Rico was on the big screen, he pulled his thing out. Devil. And when Byway come back, that's what he seen, girl. And he had to stop the live. And then Broadway started another lab up. He was so damn mad at Rico. He could have killed Rico. But see, we know the B sector. We know what Rico give. We know what Rico give. And see, that wasn't no. I done seen Rico thing 1,000 times. And I didn't see it at Broadway's because I was doing something else just like Broadway was. And when I come back, the lab had got pulled down. Hey, Big Rap, the lab had got pulled down, Dimples. But he pulled his thing out over there at Broadway's. And y'all know Broadway is homophobic. And he always talk about Mahia having them things over there on his panel. And see, he had been dragging Tussle already. Because I think him and Tussle must have got into it somewhere out here in YouTube Street or something. But he had been dragging Tussle. And then Uppity wound up on the panel and it went from there. But yeah, Rico pulled that thing out. And people was putting in the chat, he's a P bomber. They was putting stuff like that in there. But you know, Broadway just looked over it, I guess, like either he wasn't reading his chat. But child, he put Rico ass up on that big screen. And Rico was doing Rico last night. Now I haven't been over to Rico because I said when I woke up this evening, I said I was gonna do my live and get it out the way. Cause if I start looking at YouTube, I was not gonna come live. But honey, Rico pulled his dick out last night, child. But like I said, the beef sector, we've been seeing that for years. Now he has stopped the he hadn't done it in a while that I'm aware of, but I don't know. So I can't say gauge how long ago it's been. Child, did Rico really pull it out? Yeah, he did pull it out. He sure did. Hey, soul sister. Hey, uprise. Hey, mind chaos. Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hey. Y'all, I'm getting ready to get off here because my brother just came. Ooh, child. Y'all, I'll see you guys next time, and y'all have a good day. Got to talk to my brother. Bye.
Get off there. I ain't gonna stay here long.
No, I I've been on here for almost 3 hours.
Who you chatting